So today we're going to talk about how things move. And what better place to talk about how things move than on a playground where everything is always moving, right? The selection that I'm going to read for you today is an explanatory text. Explanatory text. And an explanatory text gives information that explains how or why, and it uses facts that can be checked, and it may be organized by topics. So today's selection is an explanatory text. There are a couple of vocabulary words that I want to talk about really quick. The first one is the word don. Don means like you put something on, like a piece of clothing. So I had to don my jacket because it was chilly outside. And then the other word is the word tether. And tether is a rope that is used to tie one thing to another. So tether is a rope that you use to tie one thing to another. And we're going to be talking about tetherball on the playground. So I want you to think about what things move as we are reading this selection. So the selection I'm going to read is called Time to Move, and it's by Jeffrey Lee. Now, when it's time for recess, children hurry to their cubbies to don their coats, mittens, and hats. They zip up their coat zippers. If a zipper gets stuck, they pull and pull. If the zipper stays stuck and just won't move, the teacher helps. The teacher pulls the coat zipper with a lot of force before it moves up. So we use one of our vocabulary words. We said the children hurry to don their coats and mittens and hats. That just means they're putting on their coats and mittens and hats. And we were talking a little bit about the way that zipper moves, right? You pull on your zipper to get it to move, right? When it's time for recess, children march outside together in one long line. Outside, some children run to the swings. When they pump their legs back and forth, the swings begin to move. Some children pump their legs just a little. Their swings might stay low and slow. Other children kick their legs back and forth with all their might, and they swing high into the air. So what did we just describe there? Yeah, how you swing back and forth when you're outside. You use your legs and you go back and forth. That's one way something can move. At recess, one swing moves hardly at all. The child on that swing needs a push. The friend who gives a push causes that swing to move. The friend can also pull backward on the swing and let it go. A push or a pull will make the swing go back and forth. When it's time to stop, children use their feet. Toes and heels drag against the ground until the swing comes to a stop. So we talked a lot about how the swing moves, right? If we move our legs back and forth, it moves the swing. If someone gives us a push, it would make that swing go back and forth. And also, have you ever had someone while you're sitting in the swing pull back and then let go? So a pull can also make the swing move back and forth. Now, how can we check the facts in this section? Because we said in an explanatory text, you can check the facts. Sure, you could go outside and you could swing for yourself and see if those things actually work. At recess, children wait at the slide. One by one, they climb up the steps to the top. Their feet push against the steps as they climb high up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down the slide slips each child. So how do they go up the steps? Well, their foot pushes against the step to make them move up the steps. At recess, some children climb up the jungle gym. Other children use their arms to hang from the bars. Some children like to show what they can do. They use their arms to pull themselves up and up. They do a pull-up. A lot of strength. What strength that takes to do a pull-up. What does this part of the selection explain to you about how children move on the jungle gym? Right, they use their arms to pull themselves, right? This little guy's using his arms to hang there. At recess, some children bounce a ball back and forth to each other. They bounce the ball with all their might. The harder they bounce, the higher and faster it flies. If they bounce it too hard, it sails high and fast past their friends. If it hits a wall, the wall will push it in a different direction. If it bounces into the grass, it bounces lower and lower until it slows to a roll and then stops. So, what topic are we talking about in this part of the selection? Right, how a ball moves. And you use the ball, you throw the ball, but what you're really doing is you're taking your hands and pushing the ball to your friend or maybe toward the school where the wall might push it in another direction. At recess, teeter-totters lift and dip, and lift and dip. Laughing children lift up and dip down on the teeter-totters. They use their legs to make them move. Some push, push, push as hard as they are able. They lift and dip quickly. Other children only push softly, and their teeter-totters move slowly. So you can check the facts in this section too, because you could go out and you could be on a teeter-totter to see how quickly you could make that move depending on how much force you use to push yourself up off the ground. At recess, a tetherball pole entertains some children. Two children use their hands and arms to push and pull the ball back and forth. The ball swings on its rope. It swings back and forth and around the pole. The game ends when the tether wraps all the way around the pole. The one who hits the ball the hardest wins. So remember that was one of our vocabulary words was tether, and a tether was a rope that attaches one thing to another. So the tether is this rope that attaches the ball to the pole, and it wraps all the way around the pole. At recess, the playground bustles with activity. Children run and climb all over. They hang from bars and slip down slides. Every activity needs a push or a pull to make it happen. I will include some discussion starters at the end of this video for you to talk about with your big person.